This will be episode 10. We're into double digits. And now for something completely different. I used to always wear a butterfly badge, and I went through quite a few because they would break. And it may sound effeminate, but I truly did not care. Then at some point in my mid-20s, I just stopped. And I feel like I've lost something along the way because people knew me by the fact that I wore such a badge. The different phases of my life have come around to start anew, like seasons spent in growth and change. But now to find the butterfly has come to ground again a caterpillar, many-legged and strange. I'll spin another sheath of silk to hide within, a chrysalis, a dull cocoon, a little wait and then break free, dried by the sun till I begin to feel the wind beneath my wings and face my fate. To flutter off and live the life I love so free, to smell the flowers' perfume and enjoy this flight of fantasy, so colourful a time, to be the centre of attention in the morning light, or else to go unnoticed, crawling up a tree. It makes no difference to me. My life's all right. To laze before a window, summer burning bright upon my thinning coat all day, such pure delight. To dream, to stretch, to feel the warmth all up and down my side, where children cannot find me in the curtains where I hide. So sleepy. It's a hard life hunting for a butterfly or two in summer, and I have to wonder why they don't appreciate such gifts I deign to bring inside. I'm better off not bothering. At least that leaves me pride. It's time to see if kitty cat's been fed. If it wasn't for the pampering, I'd wish they all were dead. Oh, fish again. It seems they think I always like this stuff. When they give me rabbit meat, it never seems enough. I want the freedom to enjoy whatever life can give. As long as someone feeds me, I'll have cause enough to live. In a time of growth, with the name of change, by a jaded heart and a blue-inked quill, to live by logic, love so strange, to flutter by with a butterfly will. An axeman and a bowman too, of science and of fantasy, who dreams to shape the world anew, but will not shape his destiny. The first, the last, the in-between, the future, past and written down, will stamp a mark in blue and green. The jester claims to wear a crown. A change of heart, a growing name, the light is there, but not the flame. This is a very quiet metamorphosis. To know that it exists is not sufficient to know what it looks like. There are no outward signs, no vocal changes or physical deformations to suggest the process occurring. I am turning into me, and there's nothing I can do about it. I think my attitudes are changing into something almost foreign to me, to my old way of thinking. Maybe this is just the final stage of growth on the journey from caterpillar to butterfly, and I'm about to break out and show my true colours to the world. Or else I'm still trapped, dreaming in the safety of my cocoon. From certain angles, the many facets of your beauty radiate to fill the room with love light, and I, more moth than butterfly, flutter out of the gloom to burn my fragile wings beside your brilliant flame. Guided into an orbit, misguided, miscalculated, misconstrued, but at least well lit. This lovesick satellite you allow to intrude to drink upon your light by day still longs to linger as a hopeless dream pursuing you by night, where I might touch and not be darkly scarred by your enticing fire, or else the moth I am may be engulfed by my own love's desire. I wish that I could love you still and stay at this safe distance, but I'm always attracted by the naked flame and its insistence. I have squandered my near future, having never had a purpose, so revealing my true nature, though I've never scratched its surface. I've won praise for my persistence, having never had a goal, and I've rebelled in my resistance to the ones who'd save my soul. I've lived my life as freely as a butterfly or bird, with my outlook quite serenely looking past the written word. I have inked out my reflections and the things that come to mind, and then, through further introspections, all the dreams I've left behind. and I have wallowed in my failure to reveal all else in sight, in words, all life's paraphernalia through the poems that I write. So in despair I'll be returning to the only way to reach an audience so undiscerning. I will change my craft to speech, and there I'll find the perfect medium to honour what has passed without this scrawly, inky tedium, a purpose found at last. I walked within the native green with river sheen for company. Moss covered rocks, the water mocks my visage with its imagery. A sky of blue above the view, and sun that streamed through constantly to show the way. A lovely day to catch the bush in poetry. Beneath the trees of far flung leaves I made a seat for writing, amongst the ants and bird voiced chants and gentle insect biting, where no one saw what I adore. In gentle morning lighting, the water thrilled against my will, and all the world was brightening. The only sound for miles around was spring, and in its silence the world was calm, and I was warm and breathed its evanescence, so deep to feel so much less real I'd fade to obsolescence. In this world of love, bright birds above would sing without my presence. Oh, how I dreamed beside the stream that took my cares away, slow drifting by where I could lie and write on life all day. Oh, wonder why a butterfly might rest when it could play. Ask not, for I might even try to fly some other way. As shadows creeped along the deep grass, carefully I stood, and I surveyed this place I made, and knew that it was good. The poet and the fool, no more a part of me, did strive through dreams to capture Brumby imagery on rhythmic planes of poetry and harmony, and neither knew where following a thought would lead. As harmless as a butterfly, they have found their prey, as coloured as a diamond, darting swift away. And so the hunt continued further day by day. Is such the sport they wanted, or the game they need? With words for weapons, wasting sharpened wit at will, perhaps they hindered with their complementary skill. If not for chance, they would be firing aimless still. So hard to catch the essence of a thought once freed. But smile they did when showing me their valued prize, the facets barely making up for lack of size. And could I read the disappointment in their eyes, the poet and the fool, two races of one creed? Within me both returns to fill a witless hole with thoughts escaped, or else ideas that someone stole, replenished from the hunt, without blood on my soul. The poet copies anything a fool might read. No butterfly of heart am I, there's no escape from this cocoon. The pupal stage may end too soon, so watch a caterpillar die. So love in incubation rests and grows within a fragile shell, but when to hatch it none can tell until it's broken on request. Throughout fair spring the leaves on trees bud, blossom, stretch towards the sun a season, but when summer's done they're whisked away by autumn breeze. To reach out for the one I love in haste does not a moment make in tenderness. There's some mistake in thinking touch can be enough. Too soon for an unlooked for kiss, too quick to sense the needs of one most needed. When the act is done, words struggle for breath, like this. All waiting is the loneliness, but from the shell I can't break free. Won't someone crack its strength for me and take me from this lovelessness? A heart of butterflies within, the caterpillar that you see lives on, but only poetry gets through this barrier, so thin. If I could touch your lovely face and show you what I want to feel, does that make dreaming you more real within this dark and lonely place? A butterfly stands on the limb alone, and as its colours dry before the sun, I watch the fluttering of lovely wings, and in her quiet voice I know she sings. Cocooned for comfort, now I've broken free to face the world where light shines down on me. As beauty is my nature, to the sky to decorate the world. One butterfly. On slender legs she paces there awhile in search of courage in an insect's style, then holds her breath and steps onto thin air, a right to flutter by this garden fair. Aloft at last, so all the world can see the coloured wonder painted over me. Between the flowers, up into the sky, the life of every newborn butterfly. I'd seen that caterpillar once arrive to seal itself away, yet stay alive, and now the beauty that I always knew was in there comes a fluttering in view. Each social butterfly that I now see, I watch for the unveiling carefully. They need no help to reach up to the sky. That's second nature to a butterfly. There's beauty in their flutterings, the sunlight dancing on bright wings, so delicate. A soft breeze sings the praises of each butterfly. Adrift, without a mortal care, to live, to love, to walk on air. And how I wish that I was there as fragile as a butterfly. To listen to the call of spring, to spread the colours on each wing. I know I would give anything to flutter like a butterfly. Amongst the urban forest's growth, or in the wild, perhaps in both, I take their spirit with this oath, and dream I am a butterfly. With wings of shiny turquoise blue, the brightest bug you ever knew, till you might want to be one too. Let two live like a butterfly. But do we need such coloured wings to prove that we can be such things? Take heed of all my flutterings, and know I am a butterfly. The meaning's important. It's more than a feeling, this dreaming that seems to be more real than being. I feel that I'm caught in some new kind of rhyming this time, and each line is as true as the stars of my thought. And I've travelled so far, I've unravelled the string that leads back. Ariadne, please forgive me. The thing that I lack is still fleeing down mazeways of memory, playing a word game that came to me deep out of childhood, the creature I wrought. Never sleep, or the thread will get tangled with cobwebs, or strangle the guide with a light dead ahead out of reach, always ready to teach me the reasons for speed, if I need the reminder, by leaving behind all I've said in the search for a chord. Not a word would he say as he strains far away through the maze, laying links to the rhyme as he thinks with a mind that is steady yet butterfly wild, and the child kept inside only tries to go on, left alone to face facts in each word, and yet bored. Down the trail where the rainbow may end, there's a friend who paints roses with gold, but I'm told that the paint is blood red, and the faint sound of butterfly wings carry messages that he once said as they're filling his head to wash out all the ink that he thinks. Blue-lined pages of poetry, growing like fantasy, brimming with feeling, bring seeker to drowsiness, weaker the closer to what has been said. At the end is the eye that sees all, being coy as the rose as it tries to conceal its dark soul, and it winks. I wandered through the wilderness that is my heart, and all I saw was old decay, the ruin of lost love, the chipped and faded smile, and all the mortal failings of a dreamer sleeping evermore, with all the world in change that I might stay the same, yet lost a while. The mind field that I cross explodes in colours that can blind the eyes, and pieces of old memories careen into reality to shatter in reflection at the confluence of stormy skies and streams of consciousness, all flowing into channeled poetry. The bedlam of my day-lit life impinges on the sacred place where gardeners tend blooming thoughts with teardrops from two cupped hands poured. A butterfly alights, a daffodil with kittens giving chase, that turn to tigers clawing at the tenders not already gored. Float blearily above this madness, see the soul and solve the maze of mind. The gold grows golden in the moonlight when the stars fall out. The hunter heart seeks solace by the fountain, turned to stone in days, and all that I have lived for runs in circles, dizzy with this doubt. I ached across the aftermath that sleep had hidden in all night, and turned into the morning, taking all those shadows with the light. Before the heat dies off to leave me quivering in fear of its return, I'll savour how it holds my throat and makes my breath much cooler than it is. The air is heavy on my mind. The road is hot so that my soul could burn if not for this protection that I wear, the soothing feel of cotton's kiss. Pedestrians melt slowly in the haze of sunset, nowhere else to go, and I drift with the butterflies from shade to shade as if I could not care what blazed my way, but catch sweet summer breezes and their barely cooler flow, and waft along back home as if I had the wings or will to walk on air. Before the heart might shrivel in its longing for the touch of cool or ice, I've doors to pass to trap the air not touched by sun, caught up inside all day. But when I open up my place, I only want to have my spirits rise, as I am not that butterfly I dream, and I would leave them to their play. This evening, when the sun has closed its eye and left the earth to take its rest, I'll venture out again to step between the street lights like a moth at best. Chance meetings take the heart and make it flutter like a butterfly, play havoc with the thinking process, steal all common sense away, and leave you empty for a love now lost, although you question why chance meetings can have that effect on souls in subtle interplay. You touched my heart in passing, but I wonder if you even knew the way my eyes were sparkling as they stared and you kept walking by. Chance meetings where the mind will follow beauty's folly evermore, so I will not be free of thoughts of you, no matter how I try. Now dreams are like a hopeless waiting just to see you passing through. Chance meetings in my sleep, and I will keep that image in my head of recognition, wonder, longing, feelings that I have for you, the words that linger in my mind with need, but I must leave unsaid. Chance meetings tear away the fabric that will hold my soul and leave me bare before the one who I would love if you but knew the truth. I've lost my will to live within the very heart you stole. Chance meetings bring it back until love walks away again in you. These feelings, if they were more real somehow, should now be stealing all my time for rhyming in their driving force that seems to course more lively than a dream, a source of everything that isn't me, that feeds on needs so deep that I can't see. If I was free to rise against these lies that slice the image from my eyes, then I would be too penned to place in poetry the pain that inked thought means to me. Caught on the fringe, philosophy fails to find the words I've sought so long, but tries to seize a butterfly of song alighting from a bud of serendipity. The weather of wings beating ceases to induce grey on my horizon, nicely played against the golden sunsets fading, turning into dreaming, burning for the moth that seeks the moonlight in its doom within this gloom, all eyes on rising stars that flare afar but are not near enough to care for. Caterpillars mark their time in lines that writhe, each life a lie that curls upon itself, its silky shell spun slightly to hide from the light, until they cast their past away for flight. So dreamers wake again at night when all that we believed lies quietly aside, and we grow wings to fly.